Want to welcome everyone. Want to know who is online for today's broadcast, and we want to talk about something that is very, very important: the family structure. Understanding the family structure, a godly family structure. So, what's the godly family structure? What's the godly family structure? You know, we have different kinds of family structures in the world. I don't know if there's anyone online so that I can who's online and say hello. Who is online? Can someone say hello? Okay, so there are different kinds of family structure. There are different kinds of family structure. There's single parenting, there's nuclear family, there's the extended family, the polygamous family. These are different kinds of family structure. But now what we want to measure on is the godly family structure. What's that godly family structure? Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cling unto who? His wife. The Bible did not say his wives. His wife. His wife. So the original plan of God from Genesis, even before people started, God started allowing certain persons to do certain things, but that was not his perfect will. From the day one, the original plan of God is that there's going to be one man, one woman, and then the children. So, but because of different levels of awareness, when you give birth to a child, you give birth to a child. This child, there are certain things that you can allow this child to do at different phases of their life. There are certain things they can do. There are things they you say, it's just because it's a child. For example, look at Galatians 4. As far as a son, right, is a child, he is put under. He's not really given the responsibility of a son. He's not really given the responsibility of someone who is an owner. So he's put in the place of a servant because he's learning. He's put under tutors. The same way, in a family structure, when you give birth to a child, that child is seen as someone that doesn't understand, doesn't have any responsibilities yet. So there are certain things you can allow this child to do. There are certain things they can pass for. So they cannot watch play. They are not responsible to do certain things. So you are the one feeding them. You're the one clothing them. You're the one teaching them how things are done. You are the one bathing them. So at this point in their life, you're not expecting much from them. But a time comes as they begin to mature, as they begin to grow, there are certain things is expected of them. You begin to demand certain things from them. You begin to demand certain responsibilities. So at least they can start, when you're washing the plate, they can be keeping the plate apart. They can be keeping their clothes. You can teach them when you remove your clothes, put it here. You can begin to teach the child how to ease themselves. So these are different levels of responsibility. At certain points, that child wants to ease himself. He comes to you or she comes to you and say, Daddy, 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 I want to ease myself. Or Mommy, 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 I want to ease myself. But at certain point in life, you begin to demand that they understand how these things are done. What are you doing? You're teaching them to take responsibility. So that's the place of God too. At certain point in the development of mankind, according to God, God begins to demand certain responsibilities from man. Even though he has a perfect will, even though he has what he knows, he wants it to be at this standard. But at this point, man have not developed to this level of awareness. So I can allow him to do certain things. So at different levels of man, human awareness and human being development, God allows some things. That's why humans, we are marrying 5 wives, 10 wives, 1,000 wives, 700 concubines, 300 wives, and all that. Because God understands that man have not gotten to the point of awareness he wants us to get to. Right? Okay, so before I continue, who is online so that I don't just continue talking and talking and talking? Okay. Sammy's Delis. You're welcome, Sammy's. Who's that? Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. Is that Edugo? You're welcome. You're welcome. So, what are we talking about? I want to reintroduce the topic. We're talking about understanding godly family structure. The godly family structure. Now, so it started from Genesis. God said, "A man shall leave his wife, shall leave his father and his mother, and cling unto what? His wife." So he is not his wife's. He is a man, husband, and a wife. So God is bringing things closer to us because we have taken certain level of responsibility. The other time is a man and a woman. Now they have become a husband and a wife. So there is an office of a wife and there's the office of a husband. This office is like the office of the president and the office of the vice president. These are different offices. And God is expecting you to know the responsibilities that is accrued to that office. If you're a husband or you're intending to be a husband, Ephesians, let's go to Ephesians. I'm sorry, I like, let's go the old way. Using my Bible. Okay, so Ephesians chapter 5 is talking about chapter 5 verse 21. It says, honor Christ and put others first. 22 says, a wife should put her husband first as she does the Lord. Now, the emphasis is not that you love your husband the way you want. The emphasis is that you love you put your husband first, just like you are submitting under God. So the main person who you revere here is God. That's why a strong family, a family is built in the foundation of godliness. A strong family is built in the foundation of godliness. Because God is the person that started marriage. It's the person that instituted the marriage institution. Marriage is an institution. For example, the school is an institution. The school is an institution. So in any institution, there are rules and there are rules and guidelines. There are obligations to the members of that institution, and there are criteria to become a member of that institution. So many crazy things are happening that people can just come together and say, let's just be doing husband and wife. That's not how it's done. Even the society will not even acknowledge that these people are married if you don't go through those criteria. So there are certain criteria before two people come together to become husband and wife. So going through these processes is building responsibility, is building a discipline in you. So you don't just see anybody on the way and talk to them and bring them, and then both of you come together and become to live together as husband and wife. So what God is doing here is that means that, I don't know, my network is behaving a little bit. The processes helps you to build a discipline. In the process, there is a discipline. There is a process. There is something you are learning. There is a character made to go through certain processes. Just like you want to get admission in a university, you take JAMB or you go through certain examinations so that you can qualify. So the same way, before you have a man and a woman come together as a husband and wife, there are certain processes, there are certain responsibilities, there are certain procedures they go through to prepare them for the challenges, because marriage comes with a lot of challenges. Anytime you declare, I am now husband and wife, you have automatically declared war. You have declared war. You said, fight me, because the devil does not like family. He doesn't like family. So he wants to make sure that I'll pull you down. And how will he do it? If he tries to make sure if he tries to use other people, like use father, use mother, use friends, use outsiders, and they are not able to succeed, the next thing that the devil is going to use is the people in that ring. Both of you are in a ring, right? So he's going to steal. If I'm coming out to you, I want to know so that I can know that I'm coming out clear. I want to know if I'm coming out clear, because the network is shaky a bit. So, hello? Okay. So what the devil does is that he begins to convert the family to become a ring where two people fight. And as they fight, they forget the essence, the reason they came to the place, the reason they started in the first place. That's why a godly family structure must have its foundation in God. That's number one. The foundation of a godly family must be rooted in God. So that's why he is saying, follow this process, follow that process, do this, do that, because the person that is leading you through a process knows the end of the process. And for example, if you are in a school, go through that test. Why are they saying you should go through this test and that test? Because when you go through them, you would have understood how this course functions, how this understood that topic very well. And he knows that if you are not able to pass this test, there is an exam that is coming at the end. And that exam you will not be able to scale through. You will not be able to scale through. So the reason the wife is submitting to the husband is because she is submitting to God. If you are not doing that as unto God, you don't have any business in marriage. Because there will be reasons why you will question your submission. The husband will act foolishly. He will be stupid. I'm sorry to use that word, but that's exactly how it will feel. There are days he will act stupid. He will not merit, he will not deserve your submission. And God is telling the husband to love the wife irrespective of how she can be, irrespective of her excesses. God is saying, love this woman. Do so. These things are commands, they are not suggestions. So, because you are supposed to obey these things irrespective of the circumstance. I'll give you an example. Something happened between me and my wife some time ago. It just happened last week, and we had a little issue. You know, those people that tell you that I have never had issue with my wife. It's not that realistic. That's not true, and I don't believe it. You even have issues with your sibling that you grow up with, let alone someone that is not your sibling, someone that you've not lived. You don't come from the same background, not from the same village. Even if you come from the same village, twins, they quarrel. So now something happened and we had some issues. So I was scrolling on the social media and I saw a video, and that video was saying how a husband should hug his wife, tell her I love you, pray for her, and all that. My brother, it was not that was the last thing my flesh wanted to do. That was the last thing I wanted to do because I was feeling pissed. Remember, I said I was feeling pissed. So, and this thing, immediately I saw that video, I just knew the Holy Spirit told me, you're going to do this thing tomorrow before you go out. So, I wanted to post that video, and something in me was like, you need to do this thing before you can post it because you've not even practiced it, so don't post it. So it got to when I wanted to go out the next day. It was on Saturday, just last Saturday, and my wife did not know what was going on inside me. The Holy Spirit said, "You're going to do it." She didn't know, and I was running around inside the house. Remember, we had issues, so I was running around. I would just do this and do that. Finally, I found a way. In fact, I took my bag and she was like, "You want to go out without hugging me?" She did not even know I was planning to do more than hug. I hugged her and then started saying those things. And she was like, "Yeah." Started blessing her, started praying for her. And then she did not even know this whole thing that was playing out because there's a third party, and that third party is God. So that third party is telling me what she needs. It's not what I feel I should do. He knows what the marriage needs to thrive. So the things that will make the marriage thrive are not the things that will satisfy the body. They are not the things that you feel like doing. And that's why a lot of persons don't do it. Because they are not things that will make you feel good. They are things that you will do and it will not make sense. God is saying, love her. Die for her. Just like Christ died for the church. Love her. But she's acting stupid. God, she just did something now. You say, love her. Wow. And you have to decide if you want to obey God and move your marriage forward, or to obey your flesh or the devil and crash your marriage. Because no marriage crashes suddenly. Every marriage you see that crashes started crashing gradually. There are things that happen, and another thing happens. Something else happens, another thing happens. Before you know it, one day finally, something will not happen, and the marriage will crash. So, and a great marriage is built gradually too. So there are certain foundations that is laid. The first foundation has to be laid on God, and God has to be the foundation of the marriage. It means that you marry someone that has the capacity to hear God, has the capacity to obey God. People hear God and they don't obey. Someone can hear God and they will not obey. So if he says, why do I love you? You're asking this person, why do I love you? And they're like, everything they are saying is about you. Everything they are saying is about you. And you're feeling good. You're giggling. You think when she gets angry with her hot temper that she's going to remember everything she said. So she just told marriage right now. Someone has faced it and has conquered. So what are you waiting for? You have to just connect to the right persons. Look for someone who has the fear of God in them. Look for someone who understands the place of marriage. Look for someone who wants you to succeed and wants the marriage to thrive. Someone who wants your marriage to succeed. Someone both of you are comfortable with. Someone that his life is an example. Look for the person and submit your marriage. Someone that has experience, someone that has knowledge, someone that is matured in the things of God. That is the person to sit under. Someone that you say, baby, please report me to this person any day I misbehave. Because men, we don't like to be reported. We don't like someone to sit us down and scold us. The truth is that, let me ask you a question. There are things you did last year that when you remember it this year, I'm saying as a man, when you remember it this year, you say, oh God, this guy, Tim, you were stupid though. Is it not true? I want to get our response. Are there things you did last year that when you remember it this year, you say, I was stupid. I was foolish. I was foolish. Are there things like that? I want to get response from us. I want to know if I'm flowing, if people are following through. I want to get our response before I continue. Are there things like that last year you just this year looked through your life and you were like, wow, I was stupid. I was stupid. There were decisions you made, and when you look at your life this year, you're like, wow, I shouldn't have made that decision. But if someone told you last year you were stupid, you would have thought them. You would have thought they are the ones that are stupid. But this year, looking at your life in retrospect, you're like, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have made that move. I should have done that. That was a stupid idea. You by yourself is telling yourself that was a stupid idea. Oh, Kai, that was a stupid idea. Are there people like that? I want to get response before we continue. Hello. Who is online? Okay. While waiting for your response. So, personally, there are things last year I was like, I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. And if there are things like that, do you know there are things you're doing now that okay, Georgine, there are things you're doing now that next year you're going to look back and say, Tim, you were stupid. You were very, very stupid. So do you wait to till next year to be able to know if what you're doing this year is stupid? That's a very fantastic question. Do you want to wait till next year before you find out that a step you're taking now is stupid? It's not the right step. How do you avert that? You go to people who have gone ahead of you, find them, pass through. The Bible says that in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. So you bring people who, by the mercy and the wisdom of God, God has helped them to navigate different things in life, and they have experience. Pass through them your decisions. Pass through them the things you want to do. And they will be able to give you decisions. They will be able to give you instructions and advice. So, do you know there are certain persons in my life that their suggestion is a command to me? They are not saying go and do. I am saying if this person is suggesting, I will do. I have made up my mind that if this person is suggesting, it's a commando. I must do it. It does not matter how I don't mind how I see it, I will do it. You know why? Because they have gone ahead in life. They have gone through things. The age and experience helps them to see life in a very more profound way, objective way. So when you sit down with them, you know that sitting down with someone who is experienced is worth more than reading 1,000 books. Just sitting down with someone that has experience. That's how you should bring those people around you. Come and intentionally subject yourself to those people. Subject your marriage to those people. Subject your marriage to scrutiny. Subject your marriage to scrutiny. These people, allow your marriage to be scrutinized. Allow your life to be scrutinized by these people. It helps you not to make certain dangerous mistakes. So, Justin said, wow, yes. Subject yourself to those people, to scrutiny. Don't say, I know it all. The Bible says there is a way that seems right unto a man, but what? The end thereof is the way of death. Why did he not say the beginning thereof or the middle thereof? He said the end. What does it tell you? It means that life does not wait for you in the middle or in the beginning. It waits for you at the end when you don't have a choice, when you don't have a lot of options again. So life waits for you when your options are limited, when you are near to, there's nothing you can do again. Then it strikes. The consequences come. So why wait till the end to know the consequences of what you're doing now? Why don't you pass your life through the lens of people who are more wise, who have gone ahead, people who are more experienced? Get those people. Subject your marriage under those people. I just threw a bomb to you now. If you do this one thing, it will save you years of headache. It will save you years of regret. It will save you years of ignorance. If you can just do this one thing, just this one. It doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing. That's the same way too. Last year, you thought you know what you were doing, and this year, you now discover that you did not know what you were doing. So what makes you think that you know what you're doing now? Yes, what makes you think you know what you're doing? In the next year, you're going to find out that some steps you take were not right. Why don't you go through someone who have taken some of those steps, or know someone who have taken the steps? When you mention, this is what I want to do, and they're not telling you, have you checked this? Have you checked that? How about that factor? How about this? And it means that you need to have an open mind. You need to be able to change your mind. That's how life is. Life is good for people who are able to change their mind by themselves and not waiting for circumstances to change your mind for you. So building a solid, godly family structure is building these walls of foundation around you. Number 3, you need to have constitution. You need to have what is called a family constitution. Every institution, the family is an institution. A marriage is an institution. You should have a constitution for that family. For example, there are do's and don'ts. There are things. See, if it's 7 o'clock, we don't move out of my house. In my house, we don't do nights. Anything night, we don't. We don't. So there are certain problems that people who go out in the night face. We cannot even experience it. So wherever anyone is, they are, when he's getting that, they're already saying, I want to go. I want to go home. I want to go home. It's saving you a lot of headache. A lot of I was attacked here. I was attacked. A lot of things happen in the night. So you should have a vision. What do you want to achieve? Your children, what do you want to achieve with them? What's the vision of this empire? Because that's an empire. What do you want to achieve with that family? In the next 50 years, what do you want to achieve with that family? What's the pedigree? You come from a poor, broken home. Do you want a broken home to come from you? You come from a poor home. Do you want to continue that legacy? Do you want that poverty to continue? Do you want to hand over poverty, the legacy of poverty? Is that what you want to hand over to your children? Is that what you hand over to your grandchildren? These are questions. These are things you should sit down and say, what's the kind of family we want to build? So far, we've done 30 minutes, and I would like to say a big thank you to everyone that is online and staying true to this point. I want to say thank you for coming around for this live. If there's any question, contributions, I'd like to get it from us. I'm very, very, very observant of our time. What's the time now? 7:32. So I want to know if you have questions, concerns, right? You can lay them there right now so that we can deal with them. What are the questions and the concerns you have? So some of us, the Bible says that if the foundation is destroyed, what can the right do? If the foundation is destroyed, some of us, okay, judging examples of what to include in the Constitution. I've mentioned it. I've mentioned some of them. You know, in the area of finance, what is the vision? The area of work. I told my wife, I hold family dearly. I want us to be there for our children, like be there for them, right? Because if you make all the money and then your children are not trained, not well trained, not well taken care of, it doesn't make any meaning. There's no legacy. So I told her, you need to build career that will allow you to work remotely so that at least you can be there. The baby, when the time comes, you can suckle them, you can breastfeed them, and then keep your laptop and be working. In fact, when that baby is growing up and see mommy pressing laptop, it will trigger something in that baby. Mommy, you're pressing laptop. Me, I want to press my own. I want to press my own. Buy me laptop. Before you know it, that baby has taken interest in IT, taking interest in AI, taking interest in something. So from small, they are watching you do something, and before you know it, become experts. Children learn faster when they see parents do things than seeing them say things. So, and two, it will not also, because she's making money, because she's working and giving value to the world, it will also make her not feel useless or valueless. She feels that she's contributing to the family. She feels that she's valuable to the world. So that way, even though she's doing a work for the family, she's also doing a work for the world. She's also doing a work for herself that is building her self-esteem. Some people, after staying and giving breastfeeding the baby for a while, they are just completely useless. They don't know where to start from again because they are cut off from the workplace. So we said, okay, you need to build things that will build your brain. Be in the career of the things that will improve your brain so that you can be anywhere and you can work from anywhere. You see vision. You see? So we are working in that area. We are working in that area. So one of the things that we put in our family constitution is that there's no vulgar word. You don't use vulgar word in our family. You don't. No matter how angry you are, you don't use vulgar word in our family. You don't. you don't. Number three, no matter how angry you are, you will do what you're supposed to do. You will be angry and you're working in the bank. You still carry that anger and go to bank and compose yourself and talk to customer politely. So is it in the house that you'll be angry and you not do what you're supposed to do? Instead, because you're angry, you'll not cook. Are you okay? President is angry, so because of it, the nation will not run. Why? How? Where does that work? Police is angry, so because of it, he will not do his job. Why? Because you're angry. Because your family made you angry, so you come out, you not work. So see your family like that too. Because you're angry, so you not provide for the family, you not bring the money for food again. That's irresponsibility now. So you put those things in place. You put those things in place. What are the must do's? What are the must do's? And outsiders don't settle our issues. We have someone who, this person, if you cannot reach me, there is a misunderstanding, you cannot reach me, reach this person. There's a misunderstanding, I cannot reach you, I'll reach that person. So I know the person, you know the person. That's the person will reach. I am angry, you know something, just reach the person. He calls me to order and I go. I have collected power and given to that person. That's the person that we are accountable to. You need to have accountable people in your family. Have those people that you are accountable to. Give them power, or don't come and say, you give them power to scold you, correct you, look in the eye and say, you did not get it well. Right? So these are things you should put in your family. What are the, why does this family exist? Why? There is a why for every family that exists. So there should be a why. There should be a why. Why are you getting married? You see, this thing we are doing now is the reason I got married with my wife. There's a why. It's not because I love you, you are like cockroach in my cupboard, that's not a strong why. The why that is vested on an individual, a selfish why, is not why enough. When the wind blows, that why will not be able to stand. It will not be able to stand. So these are things that can be your family constitution. There are certain kinds of clothes that we don't wear in my house. There's certain kind of makeup we don't make up in my house. There are certain kinds of friends we don't keep. There's certain kinds of things we don't do. So it can be written, it can be unwritten, because there are written constitution and there are unwritten constitutions. So these things are the things that should be your constitution. Okay, Sammy say, agreeing for both parties to have an accountability partner. Yes. Both parties should have an agreed person. Both of them are submitted to. Yes, people are submitted under God, though. The man is submitted to Jesus. The woman is submitted to her. Both of you together, you're submitted to someone that we can see, that both of you can see. Right? So have someone like that. How do you fight? That's another thing. How do you fight? How do you quarrel? What are the procedures for quarrel? There should be a fight. There are some people, when they are fighting, they can say anything, they can do anyhow. Crash TV. Things that have taken you time to buy, because you're angry, you will not be burning things down. You will not be destroying TV. I cannot fight like that in my family. You cannot fight like that. Be angry. Bible says you should be angry, but sin not. How can you be, you take my phone, you smash it because you're angry? Oh, we'll talk about it from day one. Say, I'm a hot-tempered person, my hot temper. No, even God is not that hot-tempered. God is not that hot-tempered, right? So that's why, and this accountability, yes, Grace John said, accountability partner matters a lot. Yes, even for men, especially men. And the best time to do some of these things is when you're about marrying or when you're newly married. Very, very important. Because we men, we know they hear at times. We know they too hear. The women can be easily, they can go and find someone and hear, but we men know they too hear at times. So we should have ways to fight. have how to fight. You know, we should fight civil. We should fight in a way that will not destroy the family. Hmm? Yes, I just remembered now. In-laws. How do you handle the in-laws? For example, when I want to give money to my in-laws, I mean to my wife's people, and when my wife wants to give money to, let's say she wants to give money to her mother, I will be the one to give the money. I say, Mommy, we want to give you money. Any of us, if this person has done it, this person knows. So there's nothing, and there's nothing you tell my wife I will not know. There's nothing like, don't tell your husband, you're joking. When my mother tried it sometime, she came and told me. I called my mom. No, you cannot tell my wife that kind of a thing again. Till now, she has not tried it. So there's nothing like, so when men know, when people know you are united, there are certain things that cannot come your way. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question. So any more questions so that we can round up for tonight? I believe this night has been fire for lots of us. Questions, concerns, and observations, right? So I don't know, but I know we want to keep this coming so that our lives will keep getting better. Our lives will keep improving. Our lives will keep improving. Every day, 1 hour on Sundays. Yes, United is we stand, divided we fall. Yes, you know. There was a time my mom called my wife when we were newly married. She said, "My son did this one when he finished." She thought she wasn't going to tell me. My wife called me and said, "Yo," exactly. I called my mom. Those things you said, that's the time you're building boundaries. What are the boundaries? How do visitors visit you? What are the boundaries? If I give someone money, I'll tell my wife, I gave this person money. So that tomorrow they will not say, me and them is boyfriend and girlfriend. That's why I gave them money. No. If I give anybody money out of my own volition, my wife, I'm accountable to my. Then finance. Finance. Finance is important. Finance is important. Who is the financial secretary? In certain organizations, there is the CEO, there is the board of directors. The father and the mother is the board of directors. So the father is CEO, the vice president is the mother. So who is going to be handling money issues? So in my own family, we said this person is going to be the person handling money. So everyone makes money. The person decides how the money goes. It puts everybody's need in cognizance, and we make the plan together. You know better about money issues, so handle it. And before you know it, the other person is learning. By the time will come, we can now interchange. Another person will not be the one handling money, right? So sex. What is the rule of sex in your family? Is it this one they ask you for sex? You now say, no, I'm not giving. Is your body your own? It's because you think your body is your own. That's why you say you're not giving. So in my family, if one party is interested in sex, automatically the other party should be interested, except the person is sick, except is stressed, except there is something cogent reason why they cannot respond. And you will know, and they should explain. I mean, you're not reading minds to know what is in their heart. So sex is never an issue in my family. Oh, glory. Oh, glory. That's an important factor in the life of men. Even because the society creates a narrative that men like sex a lot more than women. It's not true. Well, all of us like it. All of us like it the same. God bless you for tuning in. Since there's no more questions, I will be leaving us for now. So the conversations will continue on the WhatsApp group. For those persons that are not on the WhatsApp group, if there's any questions, you can ask it now. In the next 5 minutes, I'll be taking questions before we go. One more, please. Okay, so what's Well, ask. I'm waiting. I think we should be playing some music as we wait. A time is going to come. What we are doing here is going to be so global that as we log in, 5,000 persons will log in at the same time. And it will be a sweet community all over the world. We have a community of people in Ukraine, community of people in Ghana, a community of people in Bangladesh, community of people in UK. That's how it's going to be. Couples Connect in Israel, Couples Connect in Denmark, Couples Connect in Nigeria, and we'll come together and build a very big family. That's one of the visions we have for this to make sure that the family thrive. The family is our target. Okay, questions. Okay, no problem. The Christian says, what to do when one feels they've always in having the burden of doing things right. Example, having structure or a mentor or a constitution, etc. What do you do when one feels they are always having the burden of doing things right? Example, having structure or a mentor or a constitution. Start, start, start. We are saying something. What did you say? Okay, so um, NECA Eminence is going to give us a guide on how to create a family constitution. She's going to come up with a structured way you can create a family constitution. You know, so but it starts with you thinking, what are the areas I should cover? Like in your nation, there's a constitution of the nation that covers every area of the nation. There are bilateral decisions, there are international relations, there are internal relations, there are revenue, there are military, medical, transportation, everything that makes a family move. You should have a constitution around it. You should have a constitution around it. Okay, so like it's only one partner always having the burden more than the other. Yes, this is a difficult place to be. I can tell you, it's a very difficult place to be because it takes two hands to wash themselves. I mean, you cannot be washing one hand by itself. It takes two hands to wash. So when you are looking at someone that is not looking at you, the staring will not be interesting. But when I'm staring at you and you are staring back, man, the staring will be making sense. You know, there's another one that says you don't look at someone that is not looking at you. So you're looking at someone and they are going their way. So if you keep looking, before you know, you break your neck because they'll be going. They will not even know you are looking. When you are in a family and it looks like one person is making all the effort, it can be what you have to do is to negotiate. And at times the negotiation might not be working. Take it back to God, who is the institute of marriage. Bible says that the heart of the kings are in his hands. So if you learn how to remove yourself from the process of making this thing to happen, you take it to God. Say, God, this thing. There are certain things my wife has tried to wasn't budging. She just went to God and talked to God about it. Before you know it, after a while, I'm not the one asking her this thing, this thing, this thing. And she's like, he sure? I did not even know when the conversation happened. And I now feel like it's my idea when God is putting it in my heart. You don't know that you're answering the prayer this woman has made. And most times men can be in this situation where they are the ones that is being difficult. They are the ones that is not seeing what should be done. you know. So, and it should actually be a man pushing for these things because that's leadership. But when leadership is not seeing what the people that are being led is seeing, it can be a frustrating place to be. One of the things to do is you have to be willing to pray. and wait. Because if you're under a leadership, you don't usurp authority. You do things the right way. He said, when your obedience is complete, there are certain things you cannot even move out. There are certain things you cannot say. Do this. So until your obedience is complete. And how not to usurp authority is to go to the authority that is the authority of everyone. And that's God and say, God, see this, please. And you should be patient enough to wait. Um, I Georgine, thank you for coming by. Samuel, thank you. Esther, thank you for coming by. Who else? Who else? Who else? Whoever that came here, I know you. Your life has been multiplied. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. So, this is me taking that. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So we'll continue the conversation on our WhatsApp group, keep asking questions and encouraging other people to join in our next live session. God bless you all. God bless you. I have to go.